Okay, so how did he get to it? All right, so we are in there. Didn't make everything put the camera in. Okay, so we're lighting this one too. You got iMessage on your computer? Yeah. Open your iMessage up. Girl, and here's the soul of what you've taken control. And you see, I'm trying to show love is right. Oh, show and tell, just a game I play. When I wanna say, 3, 4, 8. I love you. Sure. Girl, so show me and tell me that you feel the same way. Say it, you baby. These are the hands that can reach for you if you're anywhere inside. These are the lips that can't help calling your name in the middle of the night. Oh, and here is a man who know where you stand. Don't you know I've done all I can to decide? Oh, show and tell, just a game I play when I wanna say I love you, girl. So show me and tell me that you feel the same way too. Say it, do, baby, baby, baby. 3, 3, 8. Just sent your iMessage. Thank you. So delivered. Just a name I wait when I wanna say, oh, I love you, girl. So show me and tell me that you feel the same way you do. Say it, baby. Oh, show and tell. Just a name I wait when I wanna say, oh, I love you. Girl, so show me. You entered access code 330348. Send it to my number. Send it to my number. What you send it to?
619-190.
Try to get it.
That's all right.
You entered access code 330348. You entered access code 330348.
Go to bit.ly.
So what?
bit.ly.
You entered access
Slash
code 33034.
YBL.
Oh man.
Capital YBL, sorry. Underscore PRES. Lowercase.
Underscore what?
Lowercase PRES. Get my phone to die. Let's do some of this screenshot.
YBL underscore PRES. That's it. Okay.
So, no comment 61% along the way. Well, you supposed to be a young guy. You supposed to be know all that stuff. I'm an old guy, remember?
You entered access code 330348.
Is it Google Hangout?
Hmm?
Is Google Hangout?
Okay. Google Hangout, and then a lot of them on their broadcasts.
Gotcha.
So, start one part. You're right, one. I'm invited. There's only 3 people supposed to be coming. Outside of your parents.
Okay.
But not, there's only 3 other people coming. John's supposed to be here. Janetta. And
You entered access
other
code
John.
330348.
Yeah. He did.
You entered access code 330348.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Two cents.
I said, he's keys in here, he's somewhere around here. So,
Huh?
I said, I see the keys in the office, he's somewhere around here.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you should be coming?
entered access code 33034.
It's one time. Yes, ma'am. So these will start from 1:50, 1:30. Huh? Yes, ma'am, she just texted me. Yes, ma'am.
You entered access code 330348. You entered access code 330348.
Still getting this, man. In this computer. So you know what? What's that? What's she want?
You entered access code 330348.
Makes it making it a little bit difficult to work. Hey man, can I see your phone? You got change for
You entered access code 330348.
Does that machine take I said, nope, I did. That's the wrong person. What up? We don't waiting on one more person.
Last night. Later, I know.
Brother Lucas is my brother John. John is brother Lucas.
Hey, yo.
What an old age man, bro. Yeah. I'm waiting on Shanetta.
That's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You entered access code 330348.
I went to Stratosphere, Anchor, like trampoline. And on the 26th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to go to theater, but that's.
Oh, that's how they advertise.
We must start in about 3 minutes. What I did was put a overview on there for everybody to look at.
I'll take it. Well, $600 for a party. Okay. Very expensive. Yeah, I just take them. I take them on his own. I cheat.
You entered access code 330348. You entered access code 330348.
Somebody call it 2 seconds. Go ahead and
I did the wrong
Hmm?
I did the wrong thing. I meant to, somebody was calling me. I meant to click it over, but I ended the wrong call.
You call back in?
Yeah.
You back on the call?
It said into access.
330348. What's it? What's that word? Is it on? Is it in? Yeah. It says it up.
This service is provided by freeconceptcom.com. Please enter your access code followed by. You entered 330348. If this is correct, press 1. You're reaching there is one of the participants in this conference. Please announce yourself.
Yo. Yeah. All right. There's only one other person my dial in. Everybody's here now. So thank you all for coming and for your time. Basically, I want everyone to come here so I can talk to you about a little about the Youth Business League and Jason Christopher Wilkins and the 12th and Never Foundation. This is a program that's been started for a while. Finally getting the kinks out of it, I want to get it going, but I kind of want to introduce everything and how it all works together. So, this is what we're told the American dream is. Get a degree, get a job, raise a family, and move up the corporate ladder and retire. Can everybody see? Okay. You want to move up close enough? You can't see? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess we're going. I have John here. My mother's John and my brother. My mother, Janetta, Debbie, and brother Lucas from OCBI. Didn't want to have anything too big with a bunch of strangers that I don't really know that well, so we want to keep the first one very small and intimate, so we can make sure we have our presentation down tight before we actually start releasing out to the public. Do you want to say something, Mom? Okay. So, backtrack and get back up to speed. This is about what we're told the American dream is and how that's just not the case. So I'll just go with my career. I'm not going to go through all this, and you probably can't see it from all the way back there, Janetta, but basically, I started off, well, I wanted a paper route when I first started. My mother told me no, so I had to learn how to cut grass, and I made money like that. I ended up making more than all my friends that had paper routes, and not too long before I started employing my friends with paper routes, I would charge $20, pay them $10, everything was going good. Turned that money from the paper routes, from the cutting grass, because it just wasn't cool, started buying candy. I would go to Sam's, buy blow pops, 100 for $5, sell them at school for a quarter piece for 25 cents. I would end up making $25 off the box, netting $20 profit. I quickly got in trouble because the teacher started relating that to selling drugs. Everybody's coming up in our class and got in trouble there. We're not gonna go through Uncle Will's and everything yet, but I started off as an entrepreneur and I entered the Inroads program for high school. And that was where so-called they take, the best, brightest and brightest and put you into internship programs, starting off in your freshman year of college. I did that program and they were grooming us for corporate America. And I asked a question about, well, what if I wanted to start my own business? And the response was always, well, no, don't worry about starting your own business. You just want to have a good job and climb up the corporate ladder. Okay, so y'all told me this is the way it's supposed to work. Sounds good to me. Coming up to speed now, I've been in real estate, I've been in insurance, I started a broadcasting company, I've done all these things, and it seems like it was all over the table. As I've done these things, my career, I've had my start off my degree, my intern experience was mechanical engineering, bachelor's of science in computer science with a minor in mathematics. Then I changed and got my real estate license, became a real estate broker and instructor. Then I changed and got my insurance license, life, health, property, casualty, had my securities license as well. And there's a whole list of skills up there that I'm not going to go through because I had to learn how to do everything for my own business on my own. So it covers everything from web design to sales and marketing. So this is my route. I changed my, baby got a call, closing it. I changed my degree from mechanical engineering to computer science for the simple fact that it changed the curriculum up. It went from being, they offered the same course all year round to now they're only spring courses and fall courses. So in order for me to graduate, it was going to take me another 2 years because they put one course out of place. So basically I had to stay around just to take one course in succession. Then when I graduated, I was supposed to have jobs, and that was after 9/11. So I had multiple job offers, but there were no jobs. So I ended up getting married, still keep going with the American dream. And then June 17th, 2004, that's when the American dream went downhill. I was married. I went backwards out of order. I didn't have a job. I was living with my parents. My wife was living with me at the same time. Well, no finance, no romance. A year, 10 days, she left. Now I'm sitting here, still don't have a job because the job market didn't open up. I go to get jobs at McDonald's and everything else, but no one's hiring me because they say your resume is too good for our company. So, okay, I go dumb down my resume. I go to interview, well, no, we don't have anything for you because you have a degree. I take the degree off, well, no, we don't really have anything right now. So I'm trying to get a job, there's just no opportunities. I started studying everything I could about people with money, started reading books. I learned everything about real estate, psychology, and wealth. I studied how we had self-made millionaires in America and what all they had in common, and that's 3 things. So for the next couple of years, I did nothing but eat, sleep, and study. Like I said, real estate, business, religion, and psychology. Because at this point, I want to know, hey, I did everything I was supposed to do for the American dream. What happened? And then so now we move on to that's what they did give me in the real estate. Housing bubble bust in 2007, right after I got my broker's license. I just got my office up and going. I become extremely successful at that point through marketing and advertising, but the bubble busted. So within 6 months after me starting Silver Hill Realty, being all the way up here, the market crashed and I was starting all over. After that, I decided, I don't want to be the boss. I don't want to be the chief. I'd rather be an Indian. I started looking for jobs again. Now at this point, my resume is too big and they've seen, oh, the only thing you had is your own business. So no one wants to take the chance of hiring me. Market turns around, there's a chance that I'm going to leave. I ran into a gentleman, Phil Morgan, who happened to be one of my fraternity brothers. And basically I bought myself a job. I said, hey, look, I'll come work for you for free. You don't have to pay me. Whatever I learn how to earn is what I get to keep. And that worked very well for the next couple of years. I was still making money. Wasn't the same as real estate, but at least I know it was consistent coming in on a steady basis. Well, in 2013, here comes the Affordable Care Act. Now you're taking away the commissions from healthcare insurance, so now you're taking away my livelihood. Now the larger companies that didn't want the little bottom business that we had, because employers 50 to 200 employers, the largest being 2,000. The big brokers didn't want that. The smaller brokers couldn't handle it. Now the big brokers, they aren't seeing as much money coming in, so now they're going after all the little crumbs on the table that we used to have. And so now I came to the point where I'm trying to figure out, oh my goodness, what has happened? I have all these things going on. I was successful in real estate, was successful in insurance, real estate failed, insurance failed. Where am I going to go from here? So what any person does, I start trying to throw everything on the wall. What do I know how to do? Let me take all my skills. I try to get the insurance back going from a different route. Not really happy. I looked at going back to a partnership with real estate. Didn't really work out well. I was trying to do all these things with the job, but they were stressful because you don't really know what's going on. It came to a point where it's more or less depressing. What am I doing with my life? How am I going to recreate myself? What is it that I want to do? And I found this picture online and it kind of got me to think. It shows the 2 paths of success. Most people think is that there's one road to success and you can either fail or succeed. And what this picture made me realize is that, you know what, even though I keep failing, that doesn't necessarily make me a failure. Even though I keep on having to change different routes, it's not that I wanted to change, it's just that situations change, so what am I going to do? Throughout all this, what I always want to do is teach kids how to have their own business. Because when they told me at Enroll was that, no, you don't want a job, you don't want to have your own business, just get a job and climb up the corporate ladder, that sounded great to me. I did everything they told me to do. What happened to my dream? Then along comes That was just basically bringing it up to speed where I came with the youth business lead and to show the trail of progression. At first, it was a 4-6 foundation. Hosea 4:6 says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." I've always skill set I've always had information. I know how to go out and find whatever I need to get whatever it is done, and it usually doesn't take me that long. A lot of people used to ask me questions about their personal finance through the real estate. I learned how to do loan modifications, loss mitigation, credit repair, and everything else. And it wasn't that I was doing anything that great. People thought I had so much information, so much a wealth of knowledge. It was that I knew how to go get the information. So I wanted to start a nonprofit to teach people how to do some of these things on their own. And then from that, I went to, throwing around the idea of, it was called Each One Teach Many. Well, I wanted to take kids and teach them what I had, but this was around the time everything went down. So now I don't have the money necessary to do it like I want to, and I don't have the resources. And then my self-esteem was where I didn't think I had the capacity to do it. And then I went to Borough Pride, where I was joining the Golden Borough Economic Development Committee. I was the chair of that. I'm not going to go into that much. That's where I learned about economic development and how businesses work, and realizing, hey, I'm not the only business owner that's going through this. This happens to most small business. So fast forward to the day, that brought me to the whole idea of the youth business league. So this is Jason and Christopher Wilkins, and in August of 2005, this young man comes into my office, and he walks in with a hat fitted to the back, black eye, just talking like he's straight off the street. So I'm like, okay. Oh, let me backtrack. A friend of mine, a lawyer, introduced him to me. Said, "Hey, look, I had this young guy I want you to mentor." Okay, no problem. Send him to my office. I should have told him, make sure you tell him to come to my office looking right, because when he came in, he was looking like he was off the Young Thug video. I'm like, oh, time out. You want to do real estate? That's not the way you come in here. So we started talking, and we just kicked at who he was. All right, let me teach you how to carry yourself. First of all, take your hat off when you come to office. Take your glasses off. He takes his glasses off, black. I'm not even going to that whole story, but he just needed some polishing and grooming, and we started looking at doing real estate. I realized he wasn't going to make it in real estate because he was a creative type. So as we started talking, I think he was just going right back to college, and we just kept in contact. Hey, how you going? What's going on? This and that, and find out he does music. He calls me up and says, "Hey, look, I have this guy that wants to sign me to a manager, but I don't know anything. Do you mind coming to the meeting?" Sure, Jay, I don't know anything about music. I don't care you know about business. I want to make sure that I get my business paperwork right. So I go to the meeting, and not going to go through that. Long story short, the guy was just trying to screw him over, and he was dropping names like he knew a whole bunch of people when he really didn't have a bunch of connections, when he really didn't know anyone. I ended up cutting that deal down. Then after that, there was another company, Go Large Records. Go Large Records wanted to use their production company or independent label.
Yeah, it's like a label.
Okay, Go Large Record was an independent label, and they were charging him a monthly fee to be on their label. And at first I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. If you're an artist, they're supposed to give you a bonus, not charge you. Well, I don't know anything about this industry. I wasn't really taking the time to learn. So he starts, doing with Go Large Record. Then they start asking for more money. For more money. I said, whoa, time out. Let me start reading these contracts. I realized they were trying to take all of his licensing and publishing and wasn't really giving him anything out. He's only, I think, 19. So you were 20 at this time.
By this time I was around 21.
He was around 21?
22.
So he's 21, 22. So, he's seeing his name out there. They're doing a great job of PR, putting his stuff out there. But again, they're just trying to screw him over. So end up shutting that down. Jay, you need to figure out something else. Next comes up the record deal with Cash Money. There's a gentleman, Wale Lundy. He played NFL for the Texans. Wale ended up coming out the league. Him and Jason hook up. Wale has a celebrity image. Jason has a music talent. Together they come up with Fresh Fusion. As they're out, they went over to a concert over in Philly and met some of the record label executives from Cash Money. Immediately they listen to his music. They love it. They want to sign him. Jay, you've been here before. Good luck. No, big bro, I want you to come in, and listen to what's going on. Okay. Well, we scheduled a conference call, and the first thing these guys do is start getting on the phone name dropping. And when I start asking them questions about contracts in particular, they don't want to talk to me about it. Do you know who I am? I'm this person, that person. Again, not going to go through that whole story. as we got on the phone, the final comment before they hung up the phone on us was, Jason, you'll never go anywhere without us. Whoa, okay. So Jason moves on with his music career. This time I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with my businesses. And he just steady trudging along. When the whole insurance market crashed, that's when I went into panic mode. What am I going to do? I have all these skills. Do I really want to take the time to figure out consulting? I still have this book of business I can try to build, but I'm just burnt out at this point where I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not exciting. It's no passion. It's just what I have to do to get a check. I'm talking to Jason on the phone, and now all of a sudden he has this whole crew around him, this Fresh Trees Collective. And these other artists, they look up to him and they aspire to him because what's the word? His music is dope. It's hot. What's the word now?
Whatever. All of the above.
At this point, his music is attracting all these artists. He's been dealing with them for a few years, and they have a little bit of publicity going out in Philadelphia area. So locally, they're known amongst their peers. So I start asking the basic questions. Jay, so how much money you make? Oh, we're doing real good. We got this and that going. So as we start going, start talking, Jason, how are you affording to take care of your family? Well, I'm doing this and we're doing that. So by this time, Jason has a daughter, Ayana. Ayana is about 5 years. How old is Ayana now? 6. Ayana's 5 years old. And this is at the point where I'm in insurance ready to give this up. Jason, you know what? You need to get a job. You've been trying to do this for the longest. You have responsibilities. You have Ayana to feed. You need to take care of her. Forget all this talking about you want to have your own business. Slow down, back up, get a job. Then he starts, going back for me. No, you don't understand. This is what you did. You told me about the stories when you were trying to build your business, what you went through. Yeah, Jason, but I didn't have nobody to take care of. I didn't have any kids. I beat him down to the point he's ready to go get a job. Now he's going all over looking for jobs, going to put in applications here and there, and he can't find a job. And every time he talks to me, I'm not giving him any encouragement on his business. I'm, Jason, did you find a job? No, but this is what I'm working on music. Jason, did you find a job? No, but you don't understand. This looks like, Jason, you have a daughter to feed. Our very last conversation a few weeks ago is when your mind said, look, you know what? I'm trying my hardest. All I'm doing is what you told me to do. You told me if I follow my dreams and follow my passion, then things will happen. You told me I had to grind out. I had to go hard. I had to put my all into it. I had to be willing to have absolutely nothing in order to achieve my dream. Yes, I did tell you that, but you've been doing that for 2 years now, and if you haven't achieved it, your daughter is getting older. So I'm beating him up. And then he finally hit, well, you know what? I was listening to you, and I thought you gave me the key to success, and I'm still following that whether you're going to help me or not. Wow. So now he throws the social responsibility back on me. I start analyzing myself and my life and where I'm at. Like, why is it that all these things are not going right? We did this was successful. We did this was successful. But at the end, it always ended up failing. Well, maybe it's because it wasn't my time to do those things, and maybe it's that I need to go around the line to build certain skills. Maybe my passion teaching kids how to start their own business is where I need to be. My wife has been encouraging everyone else, hey, D, go ahead and start this nonprofit, help these kids. But I just don't feel like I have my self-esteem is gone. So I start internally figuring out what I'm doing and how to fix it and make it better. And I said, okay, if I'm really going to do this, my wife encouraged me, said, baby, you have my full support. I wanted to go back to struggling like you were. I said, all right, Jason was my very first project. I gave him all the tools. He knows everything to do. Why is he not making me money? Me and my wife, we take a trip up to Hoboken. I go sit down with him. I pull out my little notepad, start analyzing exactly what he's doing, where he's at with business, what stuff he has is good. Oh, I forgot to tell you the fact that every time I would talk to him, he needed more money to invest. We have computers, we got cameras, we got production equipment, we got everything that he needed down the line when I had money. Okay, here, just throw that here, throw that there. To where it's like, all right, bro, what is a return on investment? So as I'm sitting there going over this strategic plan with him, I'm just like, okay, well, what do you have that you're working with? And we're sitting there concentrating on the music. Meanwhile, I paid for a platform to develop mobile apps. That was one of my side things I was going to do for my business with insurance. I let Jason start playing with it, and he comes up with this idea, and it was just amazing. It was like, hold on, I understand you want to do this for your music, but you're creating a platform here that doesn't exist. So let's take this platform that you have just for your own personal stuff, and let's open this up to other artists. And at first, we're going back and forth, and he's telling me, no, I don't do music like that anymore. I'm not Jay Criss. I do music under Sky Ski Club. And no, we're setting this up. Hold on, Jason, what type of company you have? Well, what kind of company was it again? Before we became a production company last week, what was it? What was Fresh Fusion?
Oh, it's just a lifestyle brand.
It was just a lifestyle brand?
It's a lifestyle brand for the most part. Or
yeah, well, this was a 2-hour conversation we had with about 3 other people in this studio to where I was lost by the time we were through the conversation. Now, look, don't ask him any more questions. So we went through everything, drilled down and said, hey, look, you're a production company. You're a producer, you create content. Jason decides he wants to go out that night. I'm sitting here in the studio putting up this strategic plan. So I call my friend Kareem, hey, bro, I want to bring him over to your house tomorrow. And I want you to grill him. I want you to shoot so many bullet holes into it because he's taking this like a joke and I don't have time to waste. We go over to his house next morning. Now, that morning, Jason gets up. I told him to be there at 8:30. He knows, well, he didn't know. I told him it was in Caldwell, but he didn't know how far it was. It's about a 40-minute drive. Get him up. You got yourself up at 7 o'clock. Yeah. 7 o'clock, he gets up. 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go out the door. He said, hold up, I still got to get this done, still got to get that done. Hey, we got to roll. The whole ride over there, I got to have nervous. I said, you understand, we got people ready to invest. They want to take your business serious. Like, you're making me look bad. You got to be ready to go because when there's something ready to happen, I don't have time for you to wait. I have to do this. You got to be ready to strike a deal, the drop of a dime. You don't have time to wait. You want to play this game in business, this is what happened. The deal of a lifetime comes along every 5 minutes, but you got to be ready to strike. Well, long story short, to get to the end of it, Kareem was not able to shoot any holes in it. He gave him what score did you give him at first? Kareem, you did? At first, he gave him a 3. I said, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give him? He said, I gave him a 3. He asked Jason, well, your idea right now, how much do you want? Jason couldn't answer. And he just looked at me and said, I don't know. We hadn't gone that far because this was just a mock trial. Well, we ended up having a couple more meetings and found out there was a great interest after that. So that's when I found out, okay, I think we have some, I'm ready to do this. So the Youth Business League, to put it in a nutshell, is the apprentice, because where I failed him at first, I just gave him the tools and told him to go out there and do it. He wanted money to buy different tools. Okay, here's some money, make it happen. I didn't sit there and watch my investment and make sure that he was using it right. Meets Shark Tank. My wife loves watching Shark Tank on TV, and what I've been doing is taking him around to different people who have money and influence and letting him pitch his idea. As I've been going around, I've been asking, well, hey, you like this? Would you be interested in doing this as an on-one basis? I brought more kids to you. So unanimously, everyone loved it. They want to invest money right now, and he has a platform that's ready to go. So now we have a start of this Youth Business League, and which is a program we're looking to put on the 12th and 11th. What I'll do right now is pass it for to Jason, let him tell you about his mobile application, and then after that, we'll open up some Q&A and go from there.
Okay, I'm Jason. Fresh Fusion is about blending the arts and music by utilizing technology, exposing people to art and music that otherwise they wouldn't be able to see. Do we have the app, or we can't get the phone? The app allows people to explore art and music that they wouldn't have access to in other ways. My focus is not in getting the larger moments. It's not like a Hulu or Netflix or YouTube where people do bulk consumption. What the aim is to reach people in the small times. When you're waiting for people to show up for a business meeting, when you're in the doctor's office, if you're waiting for a taxi cab, those small moments, get people in those moments add up. So the 2 platforms that we're focusing on are Fresh Fusion TV and Fresh Fusion Radio. The app allows you to access these features. Fresh Fusion TV is about getting people showing off the latest, there's that right there. And if you want to, I'll take it on. The app is about utilizing the different Right here, you can watch different videos. Next time, we're gonna have to get this up on the big screen so we can go to showcase what's going on, what's taking on. But see, it's and then it loads video. You can watch video. You can watch video. You can scroll through different videos. Oh, you have it right here. Okay.
I gave him the app. If you want to sit over there by my mother, you can show her.
Okay.
And as you're going through it, I'll go through it with Lucas.
Okay. So the first thing we have is Fresh Fusion TV. And then you click on the second tab for Fresh Fusion TV. And the key is to showcase underground artists. It's a distribution platform and also a promotional platform for underground artists, for artists who normally don't have the money in the back end to be seen and to be heard. You can watch video. It streams 24/7, and all of this is in-house. Next, we have Fresh Fusion Radio. The Fresh Fusion Radio streams 24/7. It allows you to access podcasts, new music, the latest interviews. See, it's working right now. And those are the two platforms that we're really going to be focusing on for Fresh Fusion TV. This is going to revolutionize art, it's going to revolutionize music, because in the music industry's idea of creating revenue in a market that's not really doing well as far as music goes, their idea is what they tried to sign me to, 360 deals, where they take 30%, they take 70% of everything, of all your income, and they own your masters. And that's just not the way to go nowadays. It's like the way for artists to go is to be revolutionary, is to be different. So I figured, let's think outside the box. Let's create a platform where we're not taking advantage of artists. We're allowing them a means to be seen and to be heard, and we can make money off it in the process. So, anything else you want me to say?
Okay, so what makes this app so unique outside of the music is the fact that he's giving a platform like, for instance, television. Most people don't watch television anymore. He gave me this term called Hollywood 2.0.
Yes.
And that's where most advertisers are turning to alternative forms of marketing, where they're looking for stuff on YouTube. They're looking for stuff on the Hulu, on the Netflix, to find out how to get their message out. So unanimously, everyone we've gone to, they've actually seen like, wow, this is the way of the future. We really want to get involved in on that. And the whole point was, this is something he came up with, something we developed out of what he was trying to do for his own music, opened up to another market. And it just came out there, wow, if he has all this, he's not the only person out there with bright ideas. If we can take youth and give them some type of way to mold them and to nurture them and teach them, hey, look, go to school, go to college, do what you have to do to get a job. But if that doesn't happen, at least you have some tools to fall back on, so you're not just sitting there trying to figure it out. So before we go to further, anyone, oh, my bad, Kareem, did you want to say anything to ask your question about what did you think when you first heard it?
Well, the main thing is that, you know, we have a presentation, want to go ahead and present to people. You know, and I think what I people reading, which is my mind.
Can't hear.
Because he has a lot of great ideas and I like to have as a platform, but it needs some polishing. That's what we talked about the other day, and being able to go ahead and have a clear goal that you're trying to reach, so you paint a picture for somebody so that they can see what you're trying to do, they can envision it as well. You know, because a lot of questions I had were in terms of, you know, staffing, what the company doing, you know, and how this all came about. You know, because if you don't paint a very clear picture, then people can see themselves, they won't invest. know, it has to be short and concise. You know, it can't be, you know, an hour presentation. You want to go ahead and just put to the door. You have to be able to catch that person's attention for the first 5 minutes. You know, and be able to say, oh, I'm interested in when it generates questions. That's when you know you're going down the right path. So if there's no questions saying, oh, to who don't think that I'm in a part of it. If I have no questions, I'm pretty much already written that idea off. There's something I'm not even interested in. You're not capturing me to help me see how I can do this, which is how this is viable if I'm to invest in.
Yep, thank you. So at that point, are there any questions, comments about the whole program? Just to recap, the Youth Business League is about teaching kids how to have their own business, so they don't have to go through what I went through, what Jason went through as far as figuring out their career path. Jason's platform is a segue into what the Youth Business League is and to where we're looking to take it. We using his as an example.
All right. One question, how, in terms of your presentation, and I know you got to tweak it a little bit more. And that's
We got to tweak it a whole lot more.
You know.
Look, that's why there's only people I know what I'm supposed to here right now, because this is practice. This is not.
Yeah. Are you planning to try to find youth that you want to make this presentation to? You know, what is your, and I know you got to go to investors per se to get on board, but once you get that established, how do you plan to reach out to your youth for this? Because you've always been an advocate for youth business, and many times that I've seen you talk to the kids that I've been involved with, that has been your main focus about youth being getting involved in business. But how do you plan to reach out to youth?
That's a great interest. That was one of the reasons I went back to Jason. He does music. Kids love music, they love sneakers. So music, fashion, arts, everything he does, that's what kids love. So I won't be the face because I'm old, I can't relate to them. He will be the face, so that's how I plan to reach them. Once we have a mobile app in place, now we have a whole way to reach that population because every 5 minutes kids are on their cell phone.
Oh, true.
You have a particular age respond?
Yes, we looked at age group. My age group is between 13 and 24. And we talked about how to reach that, how to deal with that population. Jace was saying, you know, the ones that are in middle school, we have them basically as promoters. They can participate in different what do you call contests and win prizes for incentives. Take them and start working with them to teach them about business skills. It's the high school age. And then the ones that are out of high school, whether in college, whether they're just trying to figure out what they're doing, that's the ones you take and actually help them build and start their own business.
So we understand, are we trying to reach them through just music? Is that what we're trying to reach them through the music?
We're trying to reach them however we can get them. We just know that music is a platform that they're on.
We just know that that's a word they relate to.
Correct.
Yeah.
We gotta go to them with what they like. So that was our main idea. We know that all kids like music, sneakers, fashion.
Okay, so how, just give me an idea of how we reach them through sneakers and fashion, just
Mobile app.
mobile app.
It gives them something hip, something trendy, something new. Kids love being with the latest thing. For instance, they started off on MySpace, then they went to Facebook, then they went to Twitter, then they went to Instagram. Now they're on Vine. So this being the newest technology come out, that's what attracts them.
So you would start them off showing them what you were just showing.
Yes, getting them engaged to use the app.
Okay.
I would not make this presentation to youth. This is not something that they would necessarily grasp to. The presentation that would be something different. If you're asking about the program is based on different quarters. For the first 3 months, just getting them involved to make it in a fun, engaging atmosphere, something more on their level, they're not going to care about all of this. All they want to know is how can we make money, how can we have fun, and how can it be easy? So the biggest component for the youth is to make it a fun, easy program that they actually have some say and involved in it, so they actually feel a part of it, versus them just feeling like, oh, these are more adults, they just want to come tell us what to do, we got to do it their way. That's what I've noticed in most youth programs. That's why they become disengaged, because it's not content that they want, it's content that's being forced down their throat.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm asking, to see how they fit into setup. They have, are they verbalizing their input, or is this a preset?
It is 90% their input. It can be nothing but our advice and guidance and molding them along the way. But we can't just tell them what to do, because when I was growing up, you used to tell me because I said so. Well, if I had Google back then, I'd be like, Mommy, no, you was wrong. Look, this is what the internet says right here. So we had to approach these way different than what we're used to.
I don't think I used it, but that's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know how I'm involved with this, the elementary school and also with the mega teams. You know, you have access to them. I'm having my first section with the elementary kids. These are 4th and 5th graders. I got to get permission from the principal if we want to involve the male 5th graders. And as you know, that series goes for all through the year, once a month. At least you have access to that whenever you want to make something like this to them. So we can make that aware. And also, this coming Thursday, I told you I'm meeting with the coordinator of the Mega Teens Thursday to map out our program for the year. I'm inviting you to come there, so because you've been involved with that before, and I want you to continue. And at the same time, whatever this program, we can reach out to those teenagers. That'll be, I wanted you to come and make that presentation when we have one of our sessions, so we can get them right off the bat involved here.
I love you.
I'm always calling you. So, you have me to reach out to have that, make that work.
And with our programs, this is a big question about funding. So I haven't heard you mention anything about. I see the dollar, tank is all about funding. So did you mention anything that I missed there?
No, I did not mention anything about funding yet.
I thought I was listening, but I don't.
No, we don't. I don't want to go too far in that because that's not 100% ironed out. Right now, this was just a general, like, hey, look, here's a concept. It's not even completely organized and structured. I have a strategic plan in place, but what I'm trying to do is get feedback. So as I'm putting everything together, it's something that's tight. So when we go out, somebody asks a question, here's a response. Here's a response. So we've already thought about everything before we put everything together.
Is this something that you all, maybe Jason, that you ever consider taking actually to the show Shark Tank, or was that a no because it kind of took away from the whole idea of your own entrepreneurship?
No, why you want to get us to the Shark Tank?
We can do Shark Tank right here. I got a couple questions.
Okay.
I'll wait for it. I got a couple questions.
Because I know, well, I don't want to take away the vein of it, but like you said, eventually you have to plan what you will need investors, and although some people who are on that show may not get picked up by one of the sharks, they do just get visibility. What's going on? So somebody oftentimes will say, they didn't want you, but I want you, and then once you go through that, do you already have, in addition to your finding your own knowledge, already have like legal backing to make sure that everything's going the right direction?
No, that's why this one isn't anybody until January. Right now, my main goal is I'm staying with Jason, making sure that he has everything on point so that this business actually is turning a profit. Once it's turning a profit, then I will know better, because right now I can't be able to say, okay, look, we need this amount much of investment, this is what your return is, there's no sales, there's no track record. Right now, this is an idea that I think is very viable, and I think they can go somewhere. So I'm just trying to get some feelers out to see exactly how it works, when we do put an investment package together, what it should look like.
And you will need that, because even like Shark Tank, like a better example, they want to know all of that, like have you had any sales and what is your investment and what is your return and where do you see it going in the next, because you said like a 5-year national plan.
Right. The investors that I have right now is more or less based on relationship. These are people they know what I used to do in real estate, flipping properties. And they've been more or less saying, hey, look, we ready to do something. We have money we want to put into it. And it's been, look, for the last couple of years, I've been turning down. Somebody tell me you got money to invest. No, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. So everyone that I talk to that said, hey, look, I have this much to invest. Okay, look, I'm ready now. I have something I'm passionate about. I believe in. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the top.
Jason, you mentioned it's a platform for artists that don't have money or backing.
Yes.
So how would this turn a profit? Like how would
That he's the when it comes to the money and he's the guy that you talk to. I'm just the creative person. Just the brain.
So here's how this works. The reasons for independent artists, because individually, he might have 10 fans, you might have 10 fans, you might have 10 fans. What you can't compete with the labels is they put Cash Money on it, it automatically sells because Cash Money has a reputation. So they have a built-in audience. When you take independent audience and you take all the group together, well, now they have the same fan power and same Cash Money, which makes it so important that it's about independent artists versus being the major artists up front.
But where does the money, like,
Where does the money come in? Well, now you bring all your fans. It's based on downloads. The more people that download the app, the more visibility it gets. The more visibility it gets, now you can go to advertisers and sponsors and say, hey, look, we have this many downloads, we have this many people viewing, we can show you what our analytics are for streaming content, for all that stuff of that nature. So when I go to them, like, what is it called in television? Eyeballs and the Nielsen ratings? We don't have that, but we can show downloads and we can show monthly usage. And when they see the usage on it, it's basically the same model as a Facebook. That's how the funding would be.
One thing I just wanted to add is a lot of platforms or on they're looking for less intrusive ways of advertising instead of just pop-ups everywhere, because that's annoying. That just annoys people. People don't want to deal with that. So what they're doing now is they're specializing content that's sponsored by. It's almost like product placement. And so what we could do, because we do everything in-house, I run a studio in Hoboken. It's not just a music studio. We have video recording, we do podcasts, we run a radio station. Everything's just done in-house. So what we can do is we can tailor for a sponsor or an advertiser. And that's where another way money can come in with the platform.
Okay, so me as an artist, I can go on Fresh Fusion and submit my music for free.
Yes, it has to be approved. But once it's approved and it's something that we'll deal directly with you, at this point, we don't really want to deal with too many like major labels or record labels. We want to deal specifically one-on-one with the artist.
So what's wrong with charging that artist some money to put their stuff on the app?
Right now, the whole goal is to get as much content as possible. And what you're talking about is that is part of the future revenue streams. We have to create a brand first. The quickest way to create a brand is to give everything away for free. Now, we're talking money down the line in 2 or 3 years. Once it's out there and established, now we're talking licensing. Because now we have the same thing Cash Money has. We have a label. If we put you out, we automatically make you hot if everything goes correctly. So now, instead of trying to put the artist to a 70-30 deal, hey, look, just for your music that you're putting on here, now we're going to different licensing contracts and things of that nature.
All right, but what makes the Fresh Fusion app different from me going online and going to YouTube or WorldStar?
Well, the thing is, as far as YouTube, WorldStar is a little bit different. This is more streamlined. You're not going to get all the garbage in there mixed in with some of the good stuff. We all know there's a lot of excess material on a place like WorldStar. As far as YouTube, you can go on there, you can look, but if you don't know someone's name, you're not going to find them. See, this is catered towards helping normal people find artists that normally they wouldn't have exposure to. Like, you don't know that Bueller the Don exists right now because you've never heard of him, so you can't look up his music. He might have the best music. You can't look up a J. Criss or somebody that because if you've never heard of them. So that's the difference. We're actually putting these people in front of you, these great musicians, these great artists in front of you, and now you have an outlet. They have an outlet, and you can discover new music in the process. That's what sets this apart from a Pandora or anything. Because when you go to Pandora, if you don't know somebody's name, you can't look for them.
So essentially, it's like a toned down WorldStar. That's
I want a more streamlined.
Without all the extra.
Let me dovetail on that a little bit. It's not the difference.
What you say?
What he's saying is that basically your question is why would they go to this app versus a World Star Hip Hop?
Yeah.
And what he's saying is based on what he understands that this is the app that's strictly dedicated towards music.
Now, it's strict, well, we're gonna have Fresh Fusion TV too. That's part of the app too.
Yeah, well, but Doug's telling that here's the difference.
Uh-huh.
When you go to these sites, they're pretty much on the. Yeah, he's saying we're putting TV in.
I'm not aware of any other app that does so. And go into it and see, you know,
Correct. What he's saying, I was going to dovetail to is that it's for the independent artists. There's different tools you can go to, like it has a recorder, it has a different note.
Yeah, I'll show you some
It
of
has
those
tools,
tools.
so artists can do their own music while they're using the apps from streaming to several different apps. And also the difference with those, this actually is a platform where, let's say, like internet radio, is strictly streaming music. Whereas with YouTube and World Star, it's not streaming. So that way you can just go on the app and start listening just like you would a regular radio station versus the other. And that's the same with the music and the television. So it's like a television show broadcast versus just going in there and pick the content.
Okay.
I was gonna show them some of the tools.
Now, is this strictly for like Fresh Fusion style artists or?
No. This is for good music. This is for good music. This isn't just for the regular guy that just grabs a beat machine and does some raps and talks about shooting everybody or whatever. This is for arts, culture, for people that actually are real musicians, real artists. This is what this platform is in.
Because it's uplifting, inspiring, and telling a story.
I was gonna say, I know that you give an example of Cash Money, and it's kind of like, we're gonna be better than Cash Money because it's real music or whatever. But what about like, because it's just starting and it's not known yet?
Yeah.
Is there anybody who is, not putting anybody down, but is there anybody who is known who can like seed or like drop the Fresh Fusion line anywhere? Like if somebody's being interviewed on TV or interviewed in a magazine that can say like, oh, well, you know, and make sure you check out Fresh Fusion, they got some types of, or whatever the case may be. Where, because if it's all independent artists, and like I personally right now, I don't listen to independent artists, I just said I want to do the type thing. So, and I know you're trying to reach a certain generation that probably is not mine, but how do you get them to know about it other than just through an amazing scene or through school or, like how does the word get out there to the artists who are not already connected, or are they already connected?
That's exactly, yes, and to answer that question, that's why it's for a platform for independent artists, because they can't get spins on radio. So they always look for ways to distribute their music.
But how they tell people about their music being distributed?
Because when they get accepted to the app, they go tell their fans about it. That's why you saying, well, he might have 10 fans, he might have 10 fans.
It's social currency. It makes it, people want to look cool, people want to look cool, they want to look intelligent. When you allow people to do any of those two things, they automatically want to share with the next person. Oh, look, I'm on this app now. My music I submitted here. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. And that is what we're one of the ways we're looking to gain exposure for this app.
So somebody could tweet about it.
Absolutely. They can post it on Facebook, all types of social sharing methods. This is integrated with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
One of the
Tumblr.
things that we're working on is when the artist gets accepted, when we put their music out, we'll actually give them a plan, like a marketing plan. Hey, here's how you promote yourself and being on the app. So when we're like the artist, okay, now we're on here, what do we do? It would be, now you're on here, here's how you broadcast to your crowd. Let people know about it. And then that's another thing we were discussing yesterday, as far as accepting submissions. If you want to be on there, you know, right now we just want to make sure all the music is good. But if you want to be on there, you have to show that you have a certain amount of likes on your different social media content. You have to show that you
That
already
you
have.
already put up on your own.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And is their goal, because I just don't know, is their goal as an artist just to be on Fresh Fusion, or like, what are they looking to do? Is that like the ultimate, or is it like, oh, if I get on Fresh Fusion, then I can do this?
I would say their goal as artists right now, the Fresh Fusion is not known. It's not out there. It's not a household name. What we're doing is we're changing the platform and saying, hey, look, we're bringing technology where the independent artists can be out there. So as of this moment, hey, look, we're just being on the mobile app. That's something that's new all in itself. Like, hey, go here and listen to our music. We're actually getting spins. There's a service I used to pay for Jason to submit to different college radio stations and their radio stations to find different platforms to put his music on. So that same service I used to submit to, now I have them actually submitting other artists to me to be put on our platform. They charge you as an artist to put in a submission. They don't charge you anything to receive a submission. So we have other artists right now who are already seeking to be on our platform that we haven't put on yet. Good question. Say some more.
So yeah, everything is.
I'll just check it out.
Yeah.
So they see
So once they accept it,
Well, this is running a little. This is all this. This is running a little slow right now. Once we put it, once we get the proper funding, we'll move it to a different platform, and then things will be a lot faster.
so Jason was saying once they're accepted, once the artist is accepted, then it goes on to Fusion.
Yes, it'll be.
So what's their process for being accepted?
The process of being accepted right now is just submission.
Jason's I like the music. I want to put it on.
Yeah, exactly. Right now it's just as simple as if I like the music.
More complicated.
You'll make decisions that goes on.
So you're the one.
Yes, exactly.
So right now, everybody got a good chance.
No, I'm strict.
Not necessarily just but there's a team like, for instance, anybody that's involved with say, hey, look, what do you think about this? And make it you make it inclusive of other people as well. One of the other ways that I also did get the dovetail on is you have a lot of young DJs that are out here, and DJs are always looking to get their stuff on the radio. You know, that's like how DJ's career, oh, I'm on the radio. So as we get these new different submissions, he already has a bunch of DJs that he works with. We'll be submitting them to different DJs and say, hey, look, you guys want to have an opportunity to be on a mix show on the Fresh Fusion app. So that way, during an hour while that music is playing, they're the actual ones that's spinning on there, getting their name, their promotions out. So it's for all the independent artists to be able to promote themselves and say, hey, look, we have a platform that we're on.
Because I think deep. The reason I asked about it and how to accept it screen is, are we screening background people before you are putting them on? That's what I'm.
What do you say screen background?
Like a background check.
Background check for what?
Who they are, because.
Well, as long as their music is creative, that doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. No, we won't be that strict as far as
Most people get record deals because they've been in jail a couple times. So look, that's like the caveat. So no, it's not about screening their backgrounds.
Yeah, the most important thing is creativity. How much the creative process. Looking at, did they take the time out to actually put together a good song, and was it thought provoking, or did they just throw something together and call it music? And we're gonna be pretty.
Do you guys like have to go to that? It's their song, not somebody else's. Like that's.
That wouldn't be a concern of.
Yeah, that's not our. Yeah, that would be a there.
I had a problem there.
Okay. Even though it's on.
And we would be able. We probably do like a YouTube does. Like if this is, we could report it. If this is not their song or something, then report it to us and we'll take it down.
I noticed in the early stages, like we come up with a marketing plan there.
We're looking at a marketing consultant, and that's the reason she's in the room right now. So, we're looking at, she has a marketing plan done for us. How long should it take?
I don't have the materials yet.
I don't know if this is how you should target. Let's say 13 to 24.
No, well,
That's why I said, well, for youth business league, 13 to 24.
yeah, it's
For the mobile app is 18 to, what do you say, 18 to 30?
18.5 is more specifically, but this could also reach the 18 to 30.
Yeah, because this is something more or less where you promote going to shows, going to the clubs.
Exactly.
There's,
The youth business league is a little different in that what I was speaking to him about is targeting them young. But the focus is once they get to high school, really developing them in high school, and then do internships once they get to college, and then help them develop their own business plans and their own businesses and their own vision. Because if you start with them when they're 13 and they're trying to talk about developing a business, they might outgrow that business. So don't start with them that young. Kind of just let them evolve with the program throughout the program.
So it's kind of like a curriculum to the youth business program, like year one, you do this, but you could come in year three and catch up to what the kids who already started earlier. And so does the program have like, do you meet like 2 Saturdays a month or?
Right now, that's not out there. What I'm looking to do is meeting once a week. But right now, I'm just focused on making sure that what he's doing gets somewhere so that we actually have a success rate. Say, look, this is the model. And based off of what I have to learn and what I have to teach him, where he's at, you know, just psychoanalyzing his entire business, that's what the curriculum is based on. So I do have something from the National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship. I have a current curriculum. I'm taking that curriculum and I'm modifying it with JC. Any more questions, comments, concerns? Oh, good.
Well, it sounds good.
Research.
Sounds like something very nice to work with. I will agree, music is the key. From the little ones on up, that is the key.
Yeah.
Children, they love to sing, they love music. So that's why, even with them, you take words and put it to music, just trying to get them to do something, just make a song out of it and you got them going. So
Yeah.
you're on the right track with music.
So where we're looking to go from here is the reason we had you all because basically we wanted to number one, get our presentation a little bit tighter. Number two, to introduce the whole concept and to get some involvement. And number three, as we get things going, we want to make sure we keep you all abreast so that as we're ready to take it to the next level and start telling other people about it. Because right now, this is nothing that's going out until we don't really want it too much out there because we have to get everything trademarked, patented, and make sure we have all our copyright and stuff together. So we're just looking for you to have some involvement, help us out, and then when we get to the next point, we'll be keeping you updated.
What kind of help are you seeking right
For you?
now?
I need my marketing plan.
Personal. That wasn't personal. What kind of help are you seeking? Are you showing to anybody else to get their input or like, are you looking for like finite direction on the presentation or?
Finite direction on presentation. For instance, I'm going to ask you all, like, what do you think we should do to make the presentation better? Is it too long, too short? Does it give enough information? Does it need more information? Just things of that nature. So I don't want to have a long, drawn-out, boring presentation. I want to make sure that it's sweet, concise, to the point. It gets everything across without giving too much.
I think your presentation.
Try to get this down to at least an hour. Go ahead.
It's a volleyball. Look at the volleyball. Right there. Hold on, say that
Can you repeat
again?
that again, please?
I'm sorry.
We were plugging you up to the big speakers. Can you say that again?
Okay, so I think it's a good benchmark. We can go ahead and keep it to about around an hour, then we can break it into segments. And, say the last 15 minutes or so of that hour for questions or anything of that nature to really develop some consistency with it. So you can go ahead and keep it based on, providing information and, allowing people to go through the process of understanding it. And, at the best case scenario, by the time you reach the 45-minute mark, if you even get that long with it, it should be relatively, no questions in terms of, trying to close an idea or a better understanding of what's going on, what you're trying to do.
And I think we just reached the hour. We just reached the hour mark. It's 2:15. So hold on. So what we get on the scale of 1 to 5?
Me?
Yeah.
Is this going to say a 3?
This one's at a 3? Okay.
I think
And this is neutral. Definitely need some work, to say the least.
I think with presentation, I see the point of your background of where you came from. I think something you can be cut out to get more of like, what is the Youth Business League? So we know more about that because you don't want me to invest in you. You need to invest in the program. So I understand your background, just saying like, when I was a youth, I was taught corporate America is the way to go, but I knew since I was 5 trying to figure out that you can include your drinks other ways as well.
Okay.
And go straight into it. And then, Jason, I appreciate you talking about kind of what you did, but maybe you can just say, you know, like, I'm not saying that college is the wrong way to go, but I know that when you have passion behind something, it gives you more energy to push forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm passionate about this, and I want other you to know that there are opportunities to do ABC, whatever. So kind of just get you talking a little bit sooner about, you know, and why I think that if there were something more formal, like if there were an inroads for this, it would be the Youth Business League. Because the inroads will kind of recognize that name a little bit more than Youth Business League. Like I said, this is the inroads for this generation. For those who have a passion behind doing this and know that mobile technology is the current currency and the way to go. People don't use paper and pen anymore like they do your mobile app, you know, and then you kind of get more about like, you know, how like I was that time that you use in those in-between moments of life, because life is more in between now than just sitting for 30 minutes watching a television show.
Exactly. Okay.
So when should we schedule an appointment for us to come get our presentation done, Pat?
Not available.
Huh?
Not available.
She's a shark too, watch it too.
All right, well, your time, I appreciate it. Obviously, not an email, so now I will turn it over to Janetta. We're done with the whole Business League presentation. I just want to give a plug for her because she'll tell you about what some of the stuff with 12th Never and what we're looking to do for that before we got dismissed.
12th Never actually is in the process of doing things for our fall and winter outreach with our Thanksgiving and holiday baskets to those who are in need. We reach out to schools right now for families. We're also taking applications for board members, so if you're interested, just let me know. Or if you know somebody who has a passion behind loving literally till the 12th of never, without limit or without end, for those who are in need economically, socially, developmentally, and education-wise as well. So if you or you know somebody who is in that vein, have them give them my information. I'll give you my information. Get to that.
We need to get our presentation out like that.
One other suggestion that when you have redone the presentation, why don't you bring this back again so we can take another look at it before you go out?
I sure will.
I'll be glad to come back. You get my application. See how cool she got? She got my one application already.
Appreciate it. I'll wrap the outro a little later. All right, thanks.
Oh, this is. You want to stay here? You
Thanks for inviting me, Harry.
No problem. Thank you for coming. That's this Thursday. Let me put it in my phone now. Oh, where's my phone? That was his phone.